Hello, everyone, and welcome. All right, there we go. Game manager. Oh, wait a second. Uh, where is... Oh, I don't know. I am failing. All right, make that smaller. There we go. Oh, ACT. That's what I'm missing.
Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off.
What the rest of the mobs?
Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Let me see. There we go.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off.
Hmm.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Ready up. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow Knight's
Had to
furor
keep it.
has worn off.
So you throw them.
Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Alright. I'm going to... Mm-hmm.
Tell from Plague Wes.
Mm-hmm.
Tell from Jody. Tell from Jody.
This is a little... I'm gonna restart this. But... 99. Nice.
Dominati chime.
What is... Is it just every time they say lobster? Nope.
Time to start raiding again.
Hmm.
Incoming in 20. Incoming in 15. Kaikek Shime. Incoming in 10. Incoming in 5.
Why am I getting X?
Time to pull. Mimic.
Oh, I see. I'm hearing stuff from the gotcha. I'm hearing nonsense from the thing.
Blasphemy has worn off. Cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Ready up. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Back in.
Great.
Blasphemy has worn
Turn my
off.
fucking pages off.
Tell from Vladislaus. Joust out. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in.
Hmm.
Cast Blasphemy has worn in 3 seconds.
Or it doesn't even matter, which is weird.
Bulwark of Order has worn off. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Back in. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. Joust out. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in. Tell from Vladislaus. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Back in. Mimic. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Tell from Vladislaus.
Hmm. That's nice. I'm fourth on DPS now.
Cast in to cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Joust out. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Alright, I'm gonna hold those. They don't.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Eric, don't force taunt.
Joust out. Back in. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Joust out. Cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Back in. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in. Tell from ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Cast to cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Back in. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Oh my god, everybody's
Joust
really
out.
bad on this one. Just don't try.
Back in. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
I'm not. Yeah.
Joust out. Blasphemy has worn off. Cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Bulwark of order has worn off. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Back in.
Nope. God damn it, I hit the
Blasphemy has worn off.
that. Okay.
Tell from V latest laughs. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in. Cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Ready up.
Yeah. Honestly, lowering the spell
Back
count.
in.
I don't know. I would get rid of some of the spells that are useless, like this one.
Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in. Cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Bulwark of order has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
Not having AoE,
Joust out.
indirect AoE avoidance.
Ready up. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in.
Unacceptable.
Cast bulwark in 3 seconds. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
Yeah, I'm using the
Joust
absolute
out.
hell out of Mother's Will. Just all the time.
Back in. Ready up. Tell from V latest laughs.
It is funny that I get buffed to do damage because I'm number 4. So, I'm like one of the highest damage dealers in the raid.
Joust out.
But I'm a Shadow Knight, so
Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Back in.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Didn't grab that ad.
Cast bulwark. Tell from V latest laughs. Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off.
Okay, so the next ready up, I need to...
Joust out. Back in.
Leave that one up.
Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off. Joust out. Blasphemy has worn off. Back in.
That's 610. That's awesome. That's crazy. That's good.
Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Joust out.
Here's fix for a submit. Defense.
Back in.
Multi-stream that. There.
Shadow Knight's furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up. Tell from Velatus laughs. Joust out. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off.
Okay. Joust out. Back in.
Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. Joust out. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Ready up. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off.
This really is a very nice ability.
Tell from Velatus
well.
laughs. Cast Bulwark in 3
That's like one of
seconds.
the things that I really need. And it's going to be useful.
Joust out. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off. Joust out. Back in. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. Back Bulwark of Order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
I don't know why I turned off money sync, but whatever. It happened.
Joust out. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
Shadow? Yeah, there's a shadow here. Good, because we got
Blasphemy has
slot
worn off.
missing. I got one person not here. We need more. Yes.
Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. From Vladislav. Back in. Ready up. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Joust out. Back Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Joust out. Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. Back in. Ready up. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
He was straight up just not wanting to attack me at all.
Joust out. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Joust out. Back in. Cast Bulwark in 3 seconds. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Joust out. Back in. Blasphemy has worn off. Tell from Vladislavs.
Jesus Christ, that's a
Shadow
shitty
Knight's
fight.
Furor has worn off.
Yo, terrible. Well, at least we got two things for weapons. Oh, good. Chain double purple boots.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Nice boots. Yep, that is the holy grail right there. What do I have? I have forearms. I'm gonna roll on those chaotic gyre. boots. I mean, if nothing else, it'll give me 5 more max resolve. Or 10 more, rather. That'll put me up to 11105? Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something you need. Teabagging the, teabagging the chest. Good stuff. Inspirited Sabatons. That's what I'm gonna roll on. Get everything so damn cheap. That's ridiculous. I love it. Oh, that's just funny. But there's only like a few of us, so nice. 1105. Does that? I'll have to look at the spreadsheet and see what the next tier is. Here. And not raid announcements. Raid rosters. Keeper's roster. Yeah, keeper's roster. That's the one. 1105. Ooh, yeah.
Tell from
Oh wait,
Shadow
no.
Slayer. Tell from Shadow
95.
Slayer.
Okay. I need 95. Okay. So quite a long ways to go. Where's the handle for this? Oh, here it is. Instead of an hour time, it's 59-minute time.
Guild points given.
Hmm. Good old Larry. Larry the pack pony. All aboard. Cool.
Divine Aura has worn off. Ready up. Bulwark of order has worn off.
$11.05
Blasphemy has worn off.
or 11,105. 11,105. So that means I need 90 more resolve to go for T3. But that's going to be very quick next Tuesday, because basically I'm just going to get there almost immediately.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Mimic.
I feel like Yulio is
Divine
completely
aura has
unfair.
worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Mimic. Ready up. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Hmm.
Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
I got a lot of trash.
Mimic. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
They're just running down there. I think that's about all of them. Unless they're hiding.
Bulwark of order has worn off.
Like that one.
Blasphemy has worn off.
That was hiding.
Mimic. Ready up. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
We're gonna need a break because people are
Burial
dying like
bounce back
crazy.
death save. Bounce back death
Death.
save. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Divine aura has worn off. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Ready up. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Alright, then I'm gonna start throwing.
Bulwark of order has worn off.
Oh, Xenolith. Nice.
Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off.
Got it right on the money.
Blasphemy has worn off.
421. Perfect. Perfect number. That's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to get number 8 out of 500, but whatever, 421's close enough. Don't throw that away. Well, how about Vancouver? Terrible. Ow, ow. God damn it. Ow. Ow. Burn the shit out of my finger. Putting it on a. Putting it on like a Dr. Pepper to keep the swelling down. Jesus. it was the melted cheese and stuff out of spanakopita. What? Fast viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space. Man, look, they don't even know what they're doing. Like right here, like this first time chat deal going on here, and trying to like do the best viewers on streamboo.com. Like remove the space. They're supposed to remove the space. Come on now. Ah, idiots, man. Can't even spam right. Can't even. They're too dumb to perform their illicit activities correctly. An idiot. Um, yeah. That is a good question. I wonder if the ad revenue. It can't be. But Twitch ad revenue is basically ass. Not yet like YouTube. How much speaking of that, how much am I made on YouTube? Just doing my thing. Let's see. Oh, I need to look at the no, that's not it. There's a copyright earn is fine. That's not what I'm looking for though. Oh, analytics. Okay. So I paid $2 and 20 for 47 cents. Good job. Whatever. I'll take it. And viewership is awful. But you know, I was getting crazy good
Time to start raiding
viewership
again.
on the shorts, but they I got not even going to try the shorts anymore. They're not my content. Unless I make them. Unless I make my own shorts. Interesting. Alright.
Mimic. Bulwark of order has worn off. Ready up.
Hell yeah, Shadow, get it. That's what I'm talking about.
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
Interesting.
Bulwark of order has worn off.
These weren't targetable from up there.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
Wonder what these skill does.
Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
This one's gonna suck, man. Just, I mean, it's fine. Let me get in a rhythm and whatnot.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Mimic. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
That was an interesting maneuver. That teleported across the
Blasphemy has worn off.
when you pulled him. At least on my screen you did. Mm-hmm.
Mimic. Bulwark of order has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off.
They try to kill you?
Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
I do like the. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Blasphemy has worn off. Incoming in 20.
Alright, here we go.
Incoming in 15. Incoming in 10. Incoming in 5. Time to pull.
When I met you in the summer,
Mimic.
to the heartbeat sound, we fell in love, and the leaves turned brown.
Blasphemy has worn off. Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Good Ready job. Up. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
You want to grab that? No, I'm in Elric.
Blasphemy has worn off. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Tanashias has cast Good Cure job. Curse. Mimic. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
Cool.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Good burn. Got it again.
Jodi's has cast Cure Curse. Nebius has cast Cure Good Curse. Job.
It's on my pet.
Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Tanashias has cast Cure Curse. Dark Eris has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
Yeah, I think it's better if we just wait for the curse.
Blasphemy has worn off.
And then move. That seems to be the ticket.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Curse.
Zenfire Yas has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Beelzebubs has cast Penelope has cast Cure Curse. Blasphemy has worn off.
We could be together,
Ready up.
baby.
Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Shias has cast Cure Curse. Blasphemy has worn off.
Curse on Nibbles. Curse
Dark
back
Harris
here.
has
Nibbles.
cast Cure Curse.
Back. Curse.
Success has cast Cure Curse. Blasphemy has worn off.
We need to not move after Curse. Wait on
Bulwark
Curse.
of Order has worn off.
Move on Curse instead of moving on whenever we fucking feel like it. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, man?
Blasphemy has worn off. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Zenfire Yas has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
Nothing to do yet. Just burn the peg. Take him down a peg.
Blasphemy has worn off. Zenfire Yas has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off.
Yeah, that's fine. Curse.
Tanashias has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
Curse.
Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off.
I think there's a small portion
Blasphemy
where
has worn off. Tanashias has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Mimic.
man, that stinger has been hanging around.
Blasphemy has worn off. Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse.
I'm gonna throw a few things on him, see if I can ambiently get him down, passively, or whatever you want to call it.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Very nice. Curse should be here any second. There it is, perfect timing.
Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Blasphemy has worn
There
off.
we go, there goes the stinger.
Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Iulias has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
Good. Yeah, he figured it out. He got started moving on the curse.
Blasphemy has worn off. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
There's another one. Curse on flakes.
Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
We're not just running off. We're doing it on purpose. If they don't think about that shit, they don't think about anything but themselves. Hmm. We'll be happy with this guy out of the way.
Blasphemy has worn off. Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse.
All the way back
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Ready up. Tanashiaz has cast Cure Curse. Penelope has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Great to hear. Yeah, Origins is a lot of fun. I played that a good bit, but got nostalgic. Wanted to come back. Got nostalgic for life. Wanted to come back and hang out with my
Cure
friends,
Curse. Good job.
doing some raiding. So we're out here doing raiding stuff.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Got made the main tank again. How's Origins for you? Heard EOF is coming out soon. You're on.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Curse.
Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
There you go. Just watching everybody run off.
Mimic. Ready up.
You got half a second to make a mistake.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Fix that mistake, and then you know, or you're screwed, or it kills everybody and you're screwed. So I don't. No apologies for being overly protective on the curse.
Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off.
Perfect. Timed that perfectly. It hit and cured everybody right after it cast.
Blasphemy has worn
It
off.
even got a tick off.
Tanashiaz has cast Cure Curse. Blasphemy has worn off. Ready Mimic.
So I got a new spell. I got this one.
Blasphemy
I
has
didn't get
worn
that one.
off.
Up to
Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Good
what
job.
did I get up to expert? Or master? Wait, is that an old one? Oh my god, are you serious? I'm an idiot.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Holy crap. That one's 2 behind. Holy shit.
Heals Abubs has cast Cure Curse. Tanishiaz has cast Cure Curse.
Okay, yeah, that explains it.
Blasphemy
One bad
has
thing
worn
about
off.
making macros, if you don't replace the right skill, you're gonna have a problem there.
Ready up.
Curse.
Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Divine Aura has worn off. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Oh, got him.
Penelope's has cast Cure Curse. Iulia's has cast Cure Curse. Heals Abubs has cast Cure Curse.
Got it.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Yep.
Zenfire Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Has cast Cure Curse.
Okay, there we go.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Honestly, it's just better to wait, you know? As long as you're getting the numbers and stuff, as long as you're getting them down, fuck it.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Next one's gonna be there.
Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
If any of the devs are watching, this, the hate drop on this lasts like a little bit longer than 2 tanks worth. It needs to be tuned down. Actually, I'll put a I'll put a thing on there. There's nothing that says like
Heals Abubs has
I'm
cast Penelope has cast Cure
not
Curse.
getting hate or whatever. Maybe there is.
Blasphemy has worn off.
I should have it now. Yeah, no, there's nothing that says I can't hold it.
Mimic. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Heals Abubs has cast Cure Curse. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
Be nice if there was an ability that told me like how long I was not gonna be having aggro.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Taskmaster pegs, yeah.
Healsabubs has cast Nebius has cast success. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off. Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Has cast Cure Nebius Curse. Has cast Cure Good Curse. Job.
Yeah, it's not too much of a pucker factor. It wasn't that far away.
Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Got it.
Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Has cast Cure Good Curse. Job. Blasphemy has worn off.
That was kind of dumb. I can't believe that I've left two different. I have not upgraded that or that macro for like 2 expansions now. I don't even know how that happened. Maybe honestly, I must have.
Blasphemy has worn off.
I know what it is. I probably didn't. I probably just
has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
Paladin and came back. That's probably what happened. I probably had to put it back in.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's a macro.
Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Cast Cure Curse. Good job.
Maybe it just didn't happen.
Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
Yeah, you gotta jump to your right.
Zenfair Yas has cast Cure Good job.
Like onto here. Yeah.
Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off. Nebius has cast Cure Curse. Has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off.
Here he is.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's cast Cure Curse. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
Crazy button lag, man.
Healzabubs has cast Cure Curse. Zenfayas has cast Good Cure Curse. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Healzabubs has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Iulius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Healzabubs has cast Cure Curse. Cure Curse. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Flutter Hex is amazing.
Healzabubs has cast Cure Curse. Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off.
Pony.
Blasphemy has worn off. Healzabubs has cast Cure Curse. Penelope's has cast Cure Curse. Ready Good job.
On the F.
Zenfayer Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Has cast Cure Curse. Yaz has cast Cure Curse. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
That was perfect, man. I jumped and jousted as soon as he cast it. So that I wasn't back, I was up there with him.
Blasphemy has worn off.
No plates.
Iulius has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Ready up. Bulwark of Order has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Cool. It's gonna be a while though.
Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Jody's has cast Cure Curse. Good job.
That was fun.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
City Mind is up.
Healsabubs has cast Cure Curse. Has cast Cure Curse. Good job. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off.
Hold on. Five more. I have a. Okay. Um. Everybody else needs it more than I do. We're gonna be getting plenty of stuff that's upgradable in this Tuesday. Hmm. Oh, okay. Ballads of Zamar. So these are all. That's still good, but useless. Terrible. 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 Actually, we're gonna hold on to that one. Make sure I remember that. Rudy. Congo Rex. Alright, they're doing loot. While they're doing that, I'm gonna check and see if there's any shinies available. I wish you could research those before they did researching.
Guild points given.
Guilt points given. where the Pteranodon is? Yeah.
Ready up.
The dinosaur?
Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Hmm.
Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
With the adornment.
Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off.
Hmm. We could be together, baby. The skies are blue. Act so innocent now.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off.
Oh. I got
Ready up. Bulwark of order has worn off.
one of those skeletons laying on the ground.
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
He did.
Bulwark of order has worn off.
Yeah, these kind of things should be planned out.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Mimic.
Yep.
Blasphemy has
That one's
worn
pain in the
off.
butt.
Ready up. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of order has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Bulwark of Order has
Wonder if
worn
it's
off.
like, wonder if it's like an anti-soloing mechanic related.
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Hmm. So under that thing where the orange stuff is coming up, there's a boss in contested down there.
Bulwark
You have
of
to
Order
jump
has
down
worn
there and
off.
then take a, it's like a teleporter that drops you on the pad above afterwards. But there's no real way to get down there, you just have
Blasphemy
to
has
jump.
worn off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe they fixed that part. Yeah, to be fair, I haven't been back since, like, basically did everything the first day.
Bulwark of Order has worn off.
Nice.
Blasphemy has worn off. Bulwark of Order has worn off.
I need a, hello.
Blasphemy has worn off.
That many skills. So how I keep up with this many skills is that I'm actually only hitting one button. Almost everything's in here. Well, I take that back. So
Bulwark of
like I
Order
have
has
this
worn off.
macro, but like most of these are right here, and I use that for like
Mimic.
my main AoE chain. That's my heavy damage stuff. All of
Blasphemy
my
has worn
whatever
off.
abilities are just in that macro, and I just use them because like as a tank, right? So say I'm running, right? I can't hold the right mouse button and then left click something. It just doesn't, it doesn't work. You can't right and left click something. Actually, holding
Blasphemy
right
has
and
worn
left click
off.
will actually make you run. So, you have to use the macro as a tank to hold aggro. So, you want to, but basically, like, I have all of these and they all kind of do something. Um, but a lot of it I'm not using.
Blasphemy has worn
Like,
off.
basically, like, 1, 2, 3, and 4 when I have bulwark. Uh, but like, and then these things are like my heavy damage wands, quickies, and stuff like that. These things I do every now and then, but mostly this is in a
Mimic.
precast macro. I do in the first 15
Ready up.
seconds of the fight. This one I cast
Blasphemy has
13
worn
seconds.
off.
This one I just put on auto consume. This I use whenever
Bulwark of Order has worn off.
all my skills are down and I need them back up. So like they have their uses, but I'm not using all of them all the time. So it's not that, and if I'm taunting or whatever, I'm using these. This one doesn't really do much taunt, but it's good for damage. So. But it does
Blasphemy has worn
supposedly
off.
taunt. Cool. Mm. I don't think there's a knockback power.
Time to start raiding again. Incoming in 20.
So what I usually do is I put on tactics. That gets me
Incoming in
24,000.
15. Tell from
And then I've got
Shadow Slayers.
15.
Incoming in 10.
Yes.
Incoming in 5.
Obsidian's going in for group 1.
Time to pull. Mimic. Ready up. Blasphemy has worn off.
See, what did that get me at? Ooh, 80. Well, I was up at 86 trillion, so I'm dropping now significantly because I can't sustain those kind of numbers. It's
Blasphemy has worn off.
all yours. So this one we just tank swap. Oh, lucky. Cotton,
Antizerk
Lackey, and
joust and cure.
oh boy.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Uh, not ready yet. Mm-hmm. There we go. That got it. Got it.
Mimic.
That was interesting. I think I had like 3 detriments on me.
Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Oh yeah, it was on the curse, right? Okay.
Iulia joust and cure.
Xeno lift. There we go.
Blasphemy
Lift.
has worn off.
And
Blasphemy
dispel.
has worn off.
Constantly dispel the boss. If he gets 20 increments, you die.
Tell from Shadow Slayers. Tell from Shadow Slayers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shame. Shame. Cool. I think I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be up. Yeah. Stuffed crust maybe. Pretzel. Not No, that's your mom.
Time to start raiding again.
Alright, cool.
Incoming in 20. Incoming in 15.
Good on that.
Incoming in 10. Incoming in 5. Time to pull. Ready up.
Probably my AoEs were saving us, now that I think about it. Ah, I didn't have that on. Ah, that sucks. That's a lot. That's 500. And I got double. That sucks.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. X Joust and Cure.
It's mine.
Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up.
Convoke. I got it.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off.
Pretty much. Elric's the second one on
Enyai Joust and Cure.
the thing, so I can kind of control this. Oop. Go ahead and snap it back. There you
Blasphemy has worn
go.
off.
Okay. Oh, I'll take it back now. Take it back now, y'all. So basically, I do enough damage that I'm constantly creeping up on him, or like I have to watch what I'm doing, otherwise on a tank swap, because I'm just stealing his aggro the entire time. He
Mimic.
just can't hold it against me.
Blasphemy has worn off.
And especially now that I've gotten even stronger with Mother's Will. I can't be beat.
Shadow Knight's Furor Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up.
Nice.
Zenfire Ya Joust and Cure.
That clock is kind of annoying.
Blasphemy has worn off.
But he's holding aggro much better this time. There we go. Oh, did I? Did I get it?
Blasphemy has worn off.
Okay. Well, it ran out and I got it again, so that's fine. Stupid.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Well, luckily,
Dark Era Joust and Cure. Ready up. Mimic.
okay, taking it back.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Yep, 14 more minutes to kill it and be on time. Actually, I don't want to do that right now. I want to wait for this. I'm going to get it ready up. Keep that.
Mimic.
This one has been used, so not going to get that
Blasphemy
on the
has
ready up.
worn
That's
off.
okay, but I do have this. So, okay.
Blasphemy has worn off. Dark Era Joust and Cure.
Long. Well, I don't know. I might have this up by the time ready up comes up
Ready
anyway.
up.
Oh, there we go. There's ready up. Never mind. All right, ready check. Hitting that on the stone. Boop. Bop. Bam. Bam. Beep. Bop. 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 Beep. That one. That one. That one. Yeah, I got it.
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
That's not bad.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Yours? Yeah, Trans is beating me again now that he can mimic. Even with the nerfs, he can still beat me with the mimics. Funny. Oh,
Elric Joust and Cure.
got it back for a second.
Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up.
Good time. It ran out and then it went back on. Yeah,
Blasphemy has worn off.
it's got a timer on it, so true. Uh, yeah, yeah. No,
Blasphemy
it's
has worn
running
off.
out right before I get it again. Yeah, yes.
Mimic. Mimic. Iulia joust and cure. Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up.
Yeah, I don't know why
Blasphemy
it's
has
going
worn
off
off.
before, but cool. Cool.
Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
Neat.
Shadow Knight's furor has worn off.
I will take it.
Blasphemy has worn off. Vladislav joust and cure.
Maybe.
Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up.
Still making me nervous.
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Shadow Knight's furor has worn off.
I don't know why it's doing that, but it makes me nervous.
Blasphemy has worn off. Penelope joust and cure. Blasphemy has worn off.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, he got that thing.
Blasphemy has worn off. Ready up. Mimic.
Um. Yeah, or take it back. It's making me nervous.
Shadow Knight's furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Shadow Slayer's joust and cure. Blasphemy has worn off.
Back. Yeah, it's like I know it is working. I just don't want to. I don't want it to stop working like it's not supposed to, and then kill us all at like 20% because we were just like,
Blasphemy
oh,
has
it's
worn
it's
off.
neat, and then it didn't.
Ready up. Mimic. Blasphemy has worn off.
I'm gonna just stop casting. Ooh.
Iulia Joust and Cure.
Alright, well, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. When the curse goes off, or when you get the curse, I'll take it.
Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic.
Okay, where's...
Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has
Yeah,
worn
I
off.
don't do anything. I guess it's probably Shadow feeding me hate. It's just counting up. Ooh.
Obuna Joust and Cure. Blasphemy has worn off.
Okay, taking it back.
Ready up.
Wrong one. Taking it back now.
Blasphemy has worn off.
Yours?
Shadow Knight's Furor has worn off. Blasphemy has worn off. Mimic. Vladislav Joust and Cure. Blasphemy has worn off.
Okay. Yours again? Yeah. Yeah, I had gotten aggro back and got it again.
Ready up.
Yeah, like if the timer is not a tank swap anymore.
Blasphemy
Crap.
has worn off.
Nice. If if the timer is not a tank swap anymore, but it says it's a tank swap, that's silly. Uh, 3 more till the gold weapon. Well, I guess we got to get last boss on this one and then the other zone, and then that's gonna be the gold weapon.
Guild points given.
So that super matter. Oh shit! Damn. Yeah. Oh my god. What is that? That's crazy. So it's 515. I got a 525. I don't actually have that chest piece. I do need that chest piece. We don't do that. There's some decorum with the leather and there's decorum with leather and platewares. Oh, oh, I thought that was a chess piece. It's a charm. Oh, whatever. Not not worried about that. I did, I did. You know what? I can probably walk with those shoulders, and nobody's going to bat an eyelid. Did you get disco?
Shadow Knight's furor has worn off.
I was about to follow. Straight up. I do want those. I do want those plate shoulders because I'm one of the few that will actually roll on them. And okay. All right. Yeah, one of the few that can actually wear them and it mean anything. That's funny. Oh my. she, she said, let me put some in before you pull out," and I was like, "Oh my!" All right, y'all. Thank you everybody for joining us. I have work tomorrow, so we got. See you later. So everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next.